Hi foodies! I'm excited to be joined by a food writer and award-winning author who has made a significant mark in the Philippine food scene with her incredible storytelling. She has carved out a unique space in the food scene, offering insightful perspectives on Philippine cuisine and its evolving landscape. We'll explore her journey through the food writing world, hear her thoughts on the evolving Filipino food scene, and gain insights into experiences that have shaped her career. So sit back, relax, and let's grab a bite with Micky Fenix. Hey, what's up, foodies? Welcome back to Grab a Bite. Our guest today is one of the most respected food writer in the country. She's also the president of the Food Writers Association of the Philippines and the chair of the Doreen Gamboa Fernandez Food Writing Award. She's also an award-winning author, best known for her book, Country Cooking Philippines Regional Cuisine. I'm honored to have her here on the show. So guys, let's welcome Miss Micky Fenix Makabenta. Let's go, guys. Warm welcome for Miss Micky. How are you, Miss Micky?
I'm fine, I think.
How's everything?
Well, I'm not as busy as before when I used to edit magazines and books. Now I edit books only, so it's my time.
Do you have a new book that's about to come out? Any interesting new
Yes, it's Iloilo, the
Iloilo.
gastronomy of Iloilo.
books?
Yeah,
Can we talk more about that a bit?
sure.
So what's the book about?
Well, Iloilo won the UNESCO Gastronomy City, UNESCO. So what they wanted to do was to say why, and that's what the book is about. Why has it been chosen as the gastronomic city? Because of the food that they have. There's very good food there.
Yes, there is
Very, very good food. And it's local. And the ingredients are from there. And it takes into account the different provinces around Iloilo City, which are Capiz, mga ganon. So, and Iloilo itself.
Yes.
So, what happens is you try to tell people why we deserve this award, no? And they really do deserve that. If you go there, my gosh.
Yes. I'm a big fan of Iloilo. I mean, in terms of food, we were there 2 years ago.
Uh-huh.
So we did a feature for them. Masarap yung food
Ay,
nila.
yeah. And it's not only because of the local food. It's also because of it's so cheap, number one.
Yes, mura. Compare dito talaga, ang laki ng mura
Yeah.
niya.
But they have places like you can get the best burger, for instance. And you're wondering, my gosh, why is these people not in Manila?
Oh, yes.
You can't get this in Manila. Diba?
Yeah.
So I said to myself, this is good that we can tell the people one region and one city in the south is making it. And then I want to do that to every region actually in this country. Yeah, because I did the first regional cookbook.
Yeah. Is that more of like a recipe book or more of like an essay book, I would say?
Essays, there are recipes,
Recipes.
but it's also explaining, for instance, what makes for a gastronomic city. And then why do you think they deserve this?
Yes.
And the other things also, I mean, it's all essays. But there are recipes because, you can't have a food book without recipes.
Yeah, definitely. What's your favorite Ilonggo food? Or I would say food from Iloilo.
My favorite is lumpia.
Lumpia.
Lumpia sariwa.
Lumpiang sariwa.
Oo.
Okay.
Yeah, I like that. And KBL, I'm kind of iffy.
Why? Pero yun yung isa sa pinakasikat, right? KBL
Yes.
and also, I think, Molo. Nandun tayo Molo,
Pancit
right?
molo.
Yeah, we tried
No,
the Molo sa
I
ano.
like that because it's clean tasting
Yes,
and
yes.
But yung yung KBL kasi it's bigat niya.
Very hearty.
Ka-Diyos, baboy, langka.
Very
Yeah, it's very hearty. And I'm not the type of person who likes the
okay.
hearty things. I like it simple and refreshing. And, that's why, for me, that pancit molo nga and then lumpiang sariwa is so not heavy, but filling.
Filling, yes. Yeah, I love that. I like that term. Not
Yeah.
heavy, but filling.
Oo.
Masarap
I
sa
like it.
Iloilo.
Mm-mm.
Because they're very abundant in a lot of ingredients.
The ingredient, for instance, yung root ng, ano man tawag nila doon?
Yes, yung parang ganon.
Oo, so they eat that. I mean,
Yes.
we don't eat that,
Oh.
but they do. Yung mga ganon. But
The
that's
local
why I'm
ingredients.
so glad that they keep it. Kasi if you forget it, it's just gone and nobody remembers anymore, the kind of food that you used to have. Ito, they keep their food. I like it that way. Sometimes if you're staying in Manila, for instance, kasi iba kayong probinsya, you forget already
Exactly.
what the food you had before.
Yes, and it's supposed to be preserved. Kailangan yun malaman ng future generation natin. Kasi those are the things that, make our culture.
Correct. And people forget that food is culture.
Yes, it is.
Diba?
What kickstarted your special relationship with food?
Eating? Oh, no.
Everyone loves to eat. I mean.
Yeah. When I started food writing, it was because I was hired to do a book for, can I mention it? Monterey.
Okay.
And then they asked me to do regional cooking. I said yes, even if I didn't know anything. But I told them, you see, I am not an armchair traveler. I am going there to the place to interview people, to know about the food, to look at it, to taste it.
Sure.
And they agreed because they had money. So they supported me. And so I went on the research and I researched on the different areas. We were supposed to do 3 books. One Western, one Eastern side, and one in the middle, Central. But the problem was, the one who wanted that book was retiring. And so the one who took over didn't exactly write like the project of the former, whatever. So we couldn't do the Central and the Eastern. We did all Western side, up to Mindanao.
Mindanao, okay. Nice.
So from the north, Batanes, going down. Okay. So when we did that, I said to myself, I hardly know anything about our food. I only know what's in Manila, what's in Bataan, which is where my mother comes from, or in La Union, where my father comes from. But the other areas, I don't know anything. So that started it. And then I said to myself, okay, now that I know this part of the country, I want to go to the other parts of the country. So that's what I did. And so I was able to go from north to Tawi-Tawi.
How did you start your food writing career? Is there like a linear path going into that?
And that's what started it, actually. I wrote pieces for some newspapers and just short pieces. But I think what encouraged me a lot was when I attended the Sarap book of Doreen. They were launching it, and then when she looked at my name, she said, "Oh, so you're the Micky Fenix." I said, "What?" And then they said, "Yeah, we read you." Silang dalawa daw ni Ed Alegre. And I said, "She's Micky." I said, "Oh my gosh, they read me." So that really encouraged me. But means to say, the foremost food writer of the Philippines likes your work.
Yeah, means you're doing something great.
And then doing something not only great, but tama.
Tama, yes. Diba? Parang kind of like a validation. Okay, ito maganda itong ginagawa ko.
Yes. So that next time they had a food tour, they also launched Sarap in Baguio. They brought me along. We had a big bus, and all the mga some food writers were there, some editors. Of food and etc. And I was, wow, starry-eyed the first time. So, that really kicked it off, and it started me, because when we went on the food tour, we would stop by provinces going to Baguio.
Wow.
And then they would talk about the province, and what this is, what we should try, and then we ate through it, and then coming down the same thing. Wow, for me that was the best food tour I ever had.
Wow, that really sounds nice.
Yeah.
I mean, you get to learn, you get to eat.
Yeah.
You get to explore the province itself.
Okay, for instance, why were there many desserts and mga pastillas like that in Bulacan? Why? Because
dami sugar before?
No, because the women there were single, were old maids. Why? Because medyo mapili sila about they're going to marry, or even the families, So they became single, and they had nothing else to do but to cook.
Oh, okay.
So there, you see. And to me, that was an eye-opener. Oh, it has something to do also with society.
Yes, the lifestyle back then.
So you had food, society, part of it.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, you will learn about history.
Siguro madaming single dati sa Bulacan, no? Kasi ang dami nilang kakanin. Ang dami nilang dessert. Ang dami nilang invento pagkain, so ang daming time.
Yeah, time. And wala silang gagawin.
Kasi
Hindi yun na lang,
gagawin,
di
no?
ba?
Magluto lang tayo, tara. Food trip na. But yeah, that's funny. What's your most memorable moment as a food writer?
Most memorable. Oh, there's so many. Memorable moments.
Yes.
Well, that was one what Doreen said during that launch. And whenever I go out with my sisters and my brother, or else my barkada, they always have this thing that they have to tell the waiter that I'm a food writer.
Okay.
They probably think that we're going to get it for free. I used to hate it because I said, no, you shouldn't do that, no, she's a food writer, huh? She's Micky Fenix, like that. All of them. And for me, it's unforgettable because I hate it.
Are there any perks being a food writer when you eat out?
If they know me, perhaps. But, I always make it clear that I will pay.
Okay.
Okay? And then, but the perks are later on because I know the owners already and I know the chefs. I know them so that when I go there, they go out and greet me.
Okay.
Yeah, like recently I went to a restaurant and then the owner came out and I hadn't seen him for like 20 years.
Wow.
Yeah, because he got sick.
Okay.
So, siyempre,
Pahinga.
yeah, and then all of a sudden he comes out and said, Micky Fenix. I was so surprised. Wow. Mga ganon. I like that. That they still remember.
Yes.
Yeah, and they value your friendship with them.
Yes.
I become friends with them because I'm not a food critic.
Yes.
You see, there's a difference
What's the difference between a food writer and critic? I think kasi, like tayo pag sinabing food writer, parang naiisip mo na rin na almost the critic.
You can be both. But me, I consider myself a food writer and not a food critic because I don't like doing restaurant reviews.
Okay.
I really don't. And you know why? Doreen said it for me. She said, I don't do negative write-ups because I know it's a business. And I don't want the business to fail. It's the same with me. I don't like it. So, I don't do, and besides now, ang dami mong kalaban.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And people who may or may not know what they're talking about.
Totoo. Agree.
Diba?
Yes.
You have all these followers and you're an influencer and you're thinking, why? No? But it's different in my generation
Yes.
kasi.
Yeah, I'd like to ask that. The landscape of food in general has changed a lot.
Oh, yeah.
It evolved. The food scene, everything. And I would say also the writing and publishing side. With the evolution of food writing, publishing, also the influencers coming in, bloggers, vloggers, what has changed, during your time in terms of writing and everything?
There are bloggers who don't know how to write. And
Agree. I have to agree.
yeah, I mean, I think if you have to write, you have to know how.
Okay.
Maybe that's only my generation, but really, and when you read them, what is this? What are they talking about? They have to also research to have to know what they're talking about.
Yes.
So sometimes you read it and you say, does this person know anything? Diba? Because to be able to give proper assessment, you have to know what you're talking about.
Yes.
Right? So you cannot just say, oh, this is good, I liked it, etc. Oh, so what? Diba? Why is it good? Diba? That's the thing that you have to answer. So sometimes I feel like, and besides, I have a feeling also that people tend to go to these influencers supposedly because they're influencers, not because they know anything, but because they are influencers and they want to be, they want to have, can say that, oh, I listen to whoever and I go to whoever, and then everybody says, oh, great, that sort of thing. But I don't think you have to know something.
Agree.
Yeah.
For writing in something.
Yes.
Yeah.
You don't just say, oh, it's good and it's like this and like that. Oh, please. I was head of the Doreen Gabo Fernandez Food Writing Award for 20 years. And then this is the only time that anybody complained why he didn't win. I mean,
The entitlement.
yes,
Damn.
parang I won this award in writing and so whatever, and I didn't win here. Why? 'Di ba? I said to myself, wow, this is the first time. Actually, everybody just accepts, because number one, our judges are really good.
Okay.
They're writers. Not only food writers, but they're writers. Okay? So they're good. So now, all of a sudden, this young writer says, why didn't I win? If I have to explain it, you don't deserve it.
As simple as that.
Yes. Diba?
Dali, straightforward lang.
Oh, na. I don't get it. Why are you asking us this?
Yes.
When you joined, you knew that you're going to be judged.
Yes.
And if you didn't like your work, then you don't win.
How does one become a food writer? I'm curious with that one. Like,
You have to know how to write, number one.
Number one, okay. Definitely, as usual.
Yeah, because people think, I want to be a food writer. It's not that easy. So, number one, you have to know how to write. Number two, you have to know how to research. Number three, you have to know how to interview. Okay? Those are important. Those are the only things you need.
The three key things to become
Yes.
a food writer.
Yes.
Sa episode na to, samahan nyo kaming explore ang kakaibang pahimagas, ano ba ito at saan nagmula ang inutak. Welcome to Desserts of the Philippine Islands. Tara na!
Learn more about these regional delicacies and delicious sweets here on Desserts of the Philippine Islands. Catch all the episodes on our YouTube channel, Bitesized.PH. In your experience, how does Filipino food and its regional variations tell the story of the country's history?
History, culture, people.
Yes.
When I was doing the first book that I did for Monterey, let's say I go to a place and I go to Ilocos, for instance. And then you're asking them, why do you cook this food? And it comes naturally when you interview somebody. And then but let me give you very poignant one. When I was in Guimaras,
Okay.
okay, and then I said, what is this? It's a salt block,
Yes.
okay? Dul-dul, tul-tul,
Yes.
iba-iba yan eh. And then I said, what is it used for? I mean, I never had in my experience had something like that. I said, this is actually a salt lick for cows and goats because they need the salt,
Yes.
okay? But for people, sa Manila, it's something that you just put, you pagpag on top of rice,
Yes.
and it becomes salty. They had a great use for it during the war because they had no ulam.
Ah,
Okay. So they only had the rice. Buti sila may rice. Dito sa Manila,
Wala.
walang rice. Oo. So they just make pagpag. And then it's already parang you ate ulam.
Yes, yun yung ulam nila.
Yeah. So when I looked at it, and then the process of making it is also spectacular. Do you know how it's made? For instance, they get all the organic things from yung basura from the sea,
Yes.
yung mga trees that fell, whatever. Then they burn it for several days and they use the ashes. The ashes they put into a parang basket, and then they get water from the sea and it goes down, and then they cook that water and put it a little coconut milk and it becomes solid
Yes.
and it's salty.
Yeah.
So, parang, wow, this is the first time. And then when I wrote about it, all of a sudden, all the regions of the country started to tell me that they also had it and what they called it. And for me, that was so great because this person from Manila doesn't know anything, and to have people tell me that this is part of their food and culture, how nice,
It is.
right?
Yes.
And asin is so part of us. Why? Because we're surrounded by the sea.
Yes.
All right? And we get salt from the sea. And then I was able to get how people make salt from the sea. From Ilocos.
Dami, different types.
Different types. And
Yes.
especially in Bohol, yung tibok.
Tibok. Yeah.
Imagine.
A lot of restaurants are using it right now.
Ang galing eh.
Yes.
Ang galing-galing. Tapos, you have that, that's the culture.
Mhm.
All right? And the background and everything. So, it's part of a heritage.
It is.
Okay? So now, and then when you go all over the Philippines, meron din pala sila.
Mhm.
You know, yung ganyan.
Meron din sila or different variant, almost the same.
Mm-mm. And then when I went to Capiz, they gave me one whole block. Laki-laki ganyan. So when I went to PAL, kasi I was going home na to Manila, they didn't want me to bring it on board. I said, why? It's only salt.
Oh.
Man, it's corrosive. Okay. So, and it's whole thing. You cannot bring a whole thing. What do? So I broke it up into pieces.
Yes.
And then I put it, and that thing, it just boggles your mind that there is such a thing,
Yes.
and PAL doesn't like to accept it.
Okay.
And it's part of our heritage. And your Philippine Airlines, excuse me. Diba?
Exactly, tama.
Diba? So, that was only a small part. And imagine how many things I discovered when I go
To
all
other
over the
place,
place. Huh? And like, tawi-tawi. Oh my God. It's a beautiful, beautiful place.
What's in Tawi-Tawi? What's a iconic food in Tawi-Tawi?
No, actually, it's just seafood, like everybody.
Food.
But then that's when I discovered that they had this, I can't remember the name, but it's like the coconut that they cook in a shell na may butas-butas, and then they make it into sweet.
Sweet, okay.
Oo. So, and I'm watching all these old women do it. They still do it
Okay,
up
which
to
is good.
now. And they do it in Zamboanga, they do it in Jolo,
Yes.
they do it everywhere in Mindanao. Kaya nga sabi ko, imagine, I don't know anything about Muslim food, but there it is. Can you imagine how many kinds of food we have? And then I go, let's say, to Marawi.
Yes.
All right? And then I see this tuna na barbecued, whole
Yes.
tuna. And that's how and I go
Parang
to...
nililitsyon po nila yun, di ba?
Sarap. And then, and the fruits are so sweet.
Yes, I have to agree.
Oh my
For
gosh.
some reason, the fruits in Mindanao are different and they're really, really good.
good. You know why? Kasi it's in the same latitude as Thailand.
Oh, really?
Di ba Thailand fruit is good?
Yes.
The
Yes.
same latitude.
Oh, that's why. Kaya ganoon.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Di ba?
Very different from ours. Kasi iba talaga yung prutas dun, guys. Like, iba talaga.
Yeah.
Like yung simpleng fruits dun, iba for some reason. Suha, grabe. Iba,
O,
mangosteen.
di ba? And yung yun?
Durian.
No, not the durian, yung leakong.
Mangosteen. Mango.
No.
Lanzones.
Lanzones.
Lanzones, yes. Yes.
Ang tamis naman.
Matamis lanzones.
Oo. And then they plant it now, yung variety sa Thailand, di ba? And then they will always say, longkong. And I say, sigurado ka.
My girlfriend's from Davao kasi. So pag nandun ako, lagi ako nagpo-fruits. Lagi kami nag-fruits.
You like durian?
Yeah, I like durian. Yung may variant na durian, yung favorite ko yung puyat.
Yes.
Yun yung favorite ko.
I'm so glad that you like the Filipino version.
Yes. Actually, hindi ko po ina-expect yun until natikman ko yung puyat. Parang, grabe, masarap tong durian.
No, because, that's why they call it puyat. And then the other one,
Arancillo.
These are two people from
there, na nag-plant sila.
No, they did their own.
Yes.
So that's why it's called that way. Pero for me, the best, it's not them. It's the native.
The native.
Yung maputi siya,
Yes.
and the native and small.
Yung medyo bitter na konti. May konting bitter na siya eh. Yun.
My friend, we were asking, if you're buying coffee and you want it the local variety, what do you say in Davao? Sabihin mo sa kanila, native.
Native. Native. Tama naman. And I like po durian for some reason. Kasabay yung kape.
Oh, yes.
I love it.
Di ba there are some durian that Tastes like coffee.
Yes, doon meron. Sarap
Yes.
talaga. Like, yun yung parang pastry mo. Pastry mo siya habang nag-ano ka.
Nakatikim ka na ba ng pastry na may durian sa loob?
Yes po,
Sa
pero
Davao?
hindi po kasi ako nakakatawa po. Gusto ko yung fruit na durian, pero hindi ko gusto yung mga byproducts niya. Hindi ako mahilig sa candy.
Ayoko rin nun. Ayoko rin nun. Pero minsan,
Yung fresh
kasi
lang.
they had it in parang ensaymada.
Semada.
Ah.
Masarap din.
Mm.
Try.
Mm.
Na-try ko pa yung durian coffee, yung sa yung blue-gray. Masarap din po yun.
Really?
Para sila parang coffee, pero may parang durian jam lang. Tapos sinahalo. Para siyang latte, parang durian latte style. Masarap.
Talaga?
Yun lang yung nagustuhan kong byproduct.
So, native siya.
Native. Pero, I think for me, yun yung isa sa nagpapaganda sa ating cuisine. It's very diverse.
Yes.
Every location is different. But at the same time, I guess may mga nakausap din kami here sa podcast na parang that's also one of the things na medyo nagiging difficulties natin to pinpoint on what really Filipino food is. Kasi parang sinasabi nila, when we talk about Filipino food, parang feeling nila sa ibang tao, they're confused on what our food really is. But the thing is, for me, I think it's better kasi we have a lot of varieties. Like example, I would really love to explore more about the Mindanao food. Kasi it's something na, well, luckily enough now, medyo
It's coming out.
It's coming out. I mean, nagkakaroon na tayo ng...
Pwede kang pumunta sa Quiapo.
Yes, exactly. So, kumbaga nagkakaroon tayo exposure for it. But the thing is, it's not as, I would say, as well known as like Pampanga, food in Los, even in Visayas, as simple as the Ilonggo food, di ba? Hindi pa siya ganun kalaki. But at the
May
same time,
Cebuano food.
Yes.
Kasi iba-iba siya
iba, yes. But at the same time, ang ganda kasi, it's very rich. Diba? Yeah. Very colorful kumbaga ng cuisine natin.
You have to have a viewpoint that's different.
Yes,
because, yan ang ayaw ko kasi everybody says that we have to pinpoint certain things na to make it say, this is Filipino food. No, it cannot be. Kasi if I come, let's say, from the Visayas and I come from Leyte, for instance, and I know, the kind of food there, it's very different from Cebuano food. It's very different from Ilonggo food. They have similarities, but they're also different. And don't you like the variety, di ba?
Mas maganda. Mas madami tayong madami tayong choices.
No, they tried to do that before, to pinpoint certain foods that we want to promote.
Yes.
Miss me, miss everybody, I know na mga chefs, we're saying, no, of course not.
Yes.
No, don't do that. I mean, it's like saying, can we do the proper adobo recipe? Or only one adobo recipe?
Exactly.
Can we do it?
No.
Oh, see?
Variety of it.
Yeah. But people think that when you say adobo, it has to be like this.
Yes.
No. Diba? And I like it that we're different.
Yeah.
Everybody's different.
And also, I think that's one of the reasons kung bakit every region is they're proud of what they have. Sometimes though, I think it's a disadvantage kasi parang may mga times, there's conflict between regions regarding certain food. Like we had, kay Erwan last time when we had Erwan here, parang, why can't we just accept food basically from those regions? Why do they have to say na, for example, this puso came from Cebu, pero meron din naman puso from other regions.
Yes.
Why can't we just accept na gano'n daw? Normally kasi di ba parang mahilig tayo mga Filipino na parang, sa amin galing yan. We try to gatekeep it na parang, kami nagsimula yan, everything.
Yes.
Diba?
Ganon tayo.
Ganon
tayo. But, ako naman, ang feeling ko,
Yeah, exactly.
You just do it. If you do it every time. Ang ano ko dyan is, why own something?
Yeah.
You don't really own anything. You just do it, cook it, and that's it.
Yeah.
Diba? Kunyari, very proud sila. Look, for instance, barbecue. Okay. Barbecue. They do it differently in other places. Like Batangas. They have a different way they barbecue. And I love it. It's different. Tenga, whatever, ganyan. So, okay lang yon. But people say, yung aming barbecue, it's better. Why? Why do you think it's better? Yung mga ganun.
Yeah.
Ako naman, apart from the fact that I like the food and I know how it's cooked and there are other things that I consider when I write. All right? For instance, this place, ang tawag sa kanya, sky's the limit.
Okay.
Why? Kasi wala siyang bubong. Iba? Ganda. That's ball.
Yeah. What do you call this? Very creative. Very creative.
Di ba ganon? For me, that's as interesting as the food.
Yes.
Di ba?
Agree.
And when you're a food writer, you don't only write about food.
Mm-hmm.
Now, of course, you write about culture, you write about the people.
Yes.
For instance, in Ilocos, they have a variety of sili na hindi maanghang. You know what it's called?
What?
Siling duwag.
Okay. Okay. Magaling.
Diba?
Yeah.
And that's more interesting for me. Diba? Parang,
Oo
wow,
nga naman.
nakagawa sila ng pangalan na okay siya.
Talaga, di ba?
Diba? Ako, I'm from Manila, I would say, yung siling walang anghang, ganun lang.
Yes, yeah.
Sila, mas maganda.
Siling duwag.
Right? And those
First
things
naman
are what I
ganun.
look for, actually,
Yes.
when I go and research. And those things are what you should write. Because it's interesting.
Yes.
Di ba? Parang ganun. Ewan ko pa.
It is interesting.
Ano po yung counterpart nun?
Di
Meron po sila matapang?
oo. Hindi, anghang. Maanghang yun. Meron silang Kaya nga, pagka binibigyan ka ng sili doon, tatanungin mo, duwag ba yan?
Maanghang yung isa.
Oo, but they eat it You know, and you think we're the only ones who have that? No. Spain has it.
Oh.
Yeah, they also have yung hindi maanghang. You go to the market and there are women there, pinipili nila yung, ito anghang, ito hindi. You know, ganon.
Wow.
This is the first time I saw it and I said, that's really how they do it and I don't know how these women know.
Yes.
Hi, I'm Inka Bagnaya.
I'm Abby Marquez.
Hi, this is Julie.
Hi, this is Raver.
I'm Radson Flores.
Hi, I'm Makoy Dubs, and this is 8 List Slam Book.
8 List Slam Book.
8 List Slam Book.
8 List Slam Book.
8 Lists Slam Book.
Get to know more about your favorite celebrities and personalities. Head on to 8list.ph YouTube channel and tune in to Slambook.
I'm pretty sure you've explored a lot of regions here in the Philippines and you've tried their cuisine. Is there one cuisine that is your favorite?
Yeah, I'm always asked that. You know, when I was doing the book with Monterey, our photographer was Neil Oshima. Okay? And everybody was scaring me about him. Kasi he's very strict and if he gets angry with you, he'll not work with you, that sort of thing. And I was the one doing the research and I was the one telling, this is the place we should shoot. And this is the food that we should shoot. And to be told that, nako, sabi ko, ano naman tatanungin? He's going to ask me the one question and if he likes your answer, he will be your friend forever. Okay. And I said, sige, bahala na. He asked me the same question. All right, you've been all over the country. Which food do you like best? I said, Ilocano. And then he said, nakasmile siya. Yun pala siya rin. It's not because of anything. Number one, my father is from La Union. He's Ilocano. And I like the fact that it's very simple food. And, you know, hindi siya complicated. Hindi siya Spanish, hindi siya whatever, American, and French style, whatever. It's just, if it's sinigang, it's sinigang, period. And if it's vegetable, period. You know? Para sa akin. And then when I researched kasi, I enjoyed myself in Ilocos. I don't know why. But it was so an eye-opener for me that the people there still eat their food.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Diba?
The traditional food pa rin talaga.
Yes. And cook it the same way. You know, yung nila, panara, what do you call that? They do the street food.
Yes.
You can buy and eat and you don't even have to go to the restaurants. And people there are so helpful. And there was one time that I ate in a karinderya. And I didn't know what I was eating. And I said, ano to? Sabi nila, ginger. I was eating it and it's ginger. And it wasn't, yung
spicy siya.
yung ganun. It was so good. Ngayon ko lang nalaman, pwede mong kainin yung ginger. But it's a specific type of ginger.
Okay.
You know? So, yung mga ganun ba? And then you discover that you didn't know these things.
Mhm.
And then you're not exactly bright. So, mga ganun.
Yes. You learn something new, kumbaga. Yeah.
Di ba? And it humbles you.
Yes,
it really
does.
humbles you.
Yeah.
Ganun eh. I
It's-
like that.
It's really nice, you know, when you learn something new, especially from different aspects of, you know, different regions here in the Philippines, you know. Especially coming from me, like ako, isa akong born and raised here sa Manila. So when you go outside, it's really nice to, you know, see
Yeah.
and experience those kinds of stuff. Are there any traditional Filipino dishes that you think deserve more recognition?
There are many, actually. I mean, if you go to Mindanao and then you taste their cooking, you're thinking, why don't we know this?
Yes.
Diba? And they're Filipino also,
Mhm.
right? Except it's a different culture, it's a different religion. That's what I like about the Philippines kasi we're so varied. We're not mono whatever.
Yes.
So, in order for you to appreciate something, you have to know the variants, the different things, you know. And for me, that makes us interesting.
It is
For me.
very unique. No?
Yeah. And I hate it when people say, oh, Filipino food, ano lang yan, ganyan.
Yeah.
It's not true, you know. And at the same time, the second, third, fourth generation American, ang tawag ko sa kanila, amboys.
Okay.
In the States,
Yes.
who were born there, grew up there. They came here on, and then I was introduced to them. And then one of them said, you know, we opened a barbecue restaurant. These are young people. And my parents tell me it's not the barbecue they know.
Mhm.
All right. Are we doing it correctly? Ask me. And I said, how do you do it? We do it the way we want to do it. I said, do it that way. It doesn't matter. Because your parents, your grandparents know, when they came from here, they only know that.
Yes.
No? But you meld the two together. You're growing up in America and your parents' barbecue. Why not? Don't listen to them. Just do what you're supposed to do. And besides, your customers are your age.
Yes.
You know? So, tama lang yan. Ganun.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on the current state of the Filipino food scene naman?
The current state, you know, I don't go out very often. And when I go out, I usually go to what I know. But I've seen some of the, and I've eaten in some of the places that are new. Okay? I mean, okay lang yan. I think it caters to this generation. No, my generation is different. I like to go to Aristocrat, Mario's, mga ganon, this
Yes.
old style, very Spanish
Yes.
sort of. And even sa Aristocrat, for instance, yung barbecue nila, I really love it. Mga ganoon.
Classics.
I think it's something that you're familiar with, that you go to. And if you go to something new, okay lang yan. You have to open your minds. And then you say if you like it, mga ganoon.
Yes.
And even yung fast food restaurants, okay lang yun sa akin. You know? Kasi, number one is cheap.
Mhm.
Number two, fast. And
Yes.
talaga, pag gutom ka, you go.
Yeah.
And ganun lang. Okay lang yan, but not every day.
Yeah.
Yun.
Iba po yung pag everyday na.
Yeah. Medyo tataba ka.
Yes. Agree. And, you know, so you're very open to, you know, the evolution of food, ma'am. Of Filipino food in general.
Oh, yeah.
Kasi sometimes, you know, it's being, hindi lahat ng tao accepted yun. Like, example lang, when they see a kare-kare, some of them wants to be traditionally made. And then they, you know, some people are saying na parang, oh, hindi naman yung normal na kare-kare. Dapat gito, ganyan.
Yeah,
But for
oo.
you, you're always open to, you know, to having
Oh,
like,
yeah.
the evolution or basically the modern twist to...
It should grow, actually. You can keep the traditional, but you can also grow.
Grow.
Right? So, ang feeling ko, and it also caters to this generation. It's different ang taste ng this generation. Eh. You know, they look for certain things. And those certain things are not what the old ones would. So, okay lang yun. Food has to evolve. Food has to evolve. You know. you can keep the traditional, but it has to evolve.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's true. I also believe in that food has to evolve, but at the same time, we have to give credit to the traditional way and hopefully keep it. Kasi by keeping those traditional
Yeah.
cuisine or traditional way of doing it, we'll be able to evolve the food more. Kasi pag alam mo yung fundamentals, mas magagawa mo ng paraan i-evolve pa yung pagkain.
Yeah. Or else, by necessity. For instance, my son recently had a bout with diabetes.
Okay.
So, I'm cooking his food. That's why ako nangayayat. But, like, instead of meat, mushrooms.
Yes.
Di ba?
Yes.
Yung mga ganon, you sort of can give it the flavor, but a different look or a different ingredient.
Yes.
Yun. But ano lang yun eh. And for me, if people do that, okay lang. Di ba? So but you have to also be open to other food. Food from other places. You learn something from it eh.
So, agree.
Oo. About the place and about the history and about the people.
Do you have any top 3 go-to restaurants in the country? What are your top 3? What are your top 3 go-to restaurants in the
Max.
country? Classic. Ano ba? Sarap yan. Sarap.
Yeah, I like Max. And most of the ihaw places I like eh.
Which ones?
The one in Quezon City, ano ba yun? Shoot. No.
JT's. TJ's.
Oh, yeah, that one. I like.
JT's,
I like.
101,
Oo.
yes.
Yeah, yung mga ganon. Simple lang. No more complicated. No high-end kind of thing, I mean, people... I like Antonio's.
Antonio's, yes. Antonio's is good.
Antonio's I like because he makes good food even if people complain that it's expensive, but it's worth it.
Yes.
Diba? And I like the way he does traditional food. He gives it a new look, but not a new taste. It's
Simple
there.
food made right. Parang ganun yung Antonio's eh. Simple food made right.
Oo. And even traditional, diba, he does piyaya on the spot.
on the spot.
I love that.
Do you love piyaya?
Oh, yes.
I love piyaya too.
Yeah.
Ube or the plain or yung original?
The original.
Original, yes. Salado.
Before, when I was just writing about food, I remember there was a Negros fair. And then I went there, naamoy ko, ano ba yun? And then I went there, niluluto nila yung piyaya right there. And it was a long time ago. And then I wrote it. And everybody wrote me back and said, where is that? No, we want that. Sabi ko, my gosh, people don't know anything about it. That, it's just there. And then, and then now they did it again because for a while they weren't doing it. They were just selling the usual.
The
And then,
packaged one lang.
yeah, and then all of a sudden, the past 5 years, they had piyaya na they were cooking.
They're cooking.
And it's a hit, I tell you. Sabi ko nga, see?
Sarap.
That's just what you do.
Yes, exactly. I love piyaya. I remember in college, for some reason, nagkaroon ng piyaya craze sa TAF. Like, nagpa-pop up yung mga piyaya stores. Like, nagpa-pop up sila. Nagkaroon sila ng piyaya.
Talaga?
They're cooking piyayas there. And then, there's the traditional, there's the ube. And then, minsan may mga extra flavors like, I would say, mango.
Yeah.
Minsan meron silang Nutella. For some reason, siguro by that time, nag-ano lang sila.
Parang ginawa na lang sandwich.
Yes. Tapos minsan may Oreo. Depende. Like, I have this one favorite stall there. Parang daily nagbabago yung flavors niya. Minsan may chocolate siya. Minsan may,
Oh, that's good, actually.
It was cheap. Like, parang 10 pesos lang ata per piece. So,
exactly. Mahal pa yun, ha?
but, actually, mahal pa. Well, kasi Manila price based.
Oo.
Now, there are a lot of, misconceptions regarding our food, especially abroad. What do you believe is the most misunderstood aspect of Filipino food?
That it's brown.
Yeah.
Yeah, mostly people tell me it's brown. Sabi ko, what are you talking about? There's only one, section that you call adobo,
Yes.
barbecue brown, whatever. But there's so much more. They think it's that way lang.
Ang tawag doon, yung hindi daw pleasing tingnan yung food natin.
Hindi pleasing because, number one, I asked Doreen that, no? Why is Thai food so attractive?
Yes.
Because they have royalty. And when you present to royalty, it has to look good. So that's how they learn. We don't have royalty. Unless you consider yung sa Mindanao,
yes,
Dato,
yeah.
whatever. But hindi sila ganon eh. So, we just do it ganyan. Okay? It's country food.
Mhm.
Why do you need to make arte?
Yeah.
Diba? Sometimes I hate it pa nga pag inartehan eh. Diba? Kasi mas maraming arte kaysa do sa food. Nakakainis.
Oh, actually.
Mata lang ang nagusog.
Yung ganon. So, that's how I understood it. And it was good that Doreen was telling me about it. And then, when people ask me that, I answer, Doreen's answer, the same thing. It doesn't have to look, it has to taste good. That's the only thing.
Why do you think Filipino food hasn't received the same recognition as, other Asian cuisines like Thai or Vietnamese?
Of course it has now. We're so great abroad now. And number one, because we have restaurants, people who do restaurants that have studied and know how to present the food. And not only present it, but cook it the right way. Okay? And my feeling is, why do we have to follow the steps of Thailand and Vietnam when we are already doing it the way we do it?
Mm-hmm.
But it's opposite now eh. They all want to be us.
Yes.
Okay? Why did Thailand suddenly spring up and then nawala? Vietnam spring up and then nawala? Because it was new to the West. The food was new to the West. Tayo kasi, we're a melange. Halo-halo tayo. We're Spanish with American. We have French influence, whatever. So, hindi nila alam, saan tayo ilalagay? You know who told me that? The manager of Cathay Pacific. Kasi I was doing an article on airline food. Yikes. And, and then...
But they've improved though. Airline foods has improved the past few years.
I hope so. Anyway, and then he was saying, that's why we hardly do present Filipino food in our planes, because we don't know where to put it. He said, we don't know whether you're Western or Asian.
Okay.
I said, what? We are Asian. It's just that we have Western influences. I was just trying to correct him because parang he doesn't know anything. Yung mga ganoon. So, for me, it's a matter of selling yourself in the right way. For me, to sell our Filipino food, we have to say, this is our food, it's traditional, and at the same time, also current.
Welcome to Flavors of the Region, where we take you to delicious culinary spots here in the Philippines. Tara, let's explore Tagaytay, Batangas, Bacolod, Iloilo, Pampanga, Quezon City, and Davao. Kain tayo!
Catch all the episodes of Flavors of the Region on our YouTube channel, Bitesized.PH.
I want to know your thoughts. Now, there are rumors that the Michelin Guide is planning to come to the Philippines. Now, why do you think it took its time coming here? And do you think there are any current restaurants that are Michelin worthy here in Manila or in the Philippines in general?
Okay. I was asked that about a month ago. A food writer asked me. I said, I didn't know, Are they still alive, the Michelin people? Because when I attended the Spanish fusion, all right,
Madrid.
in Madrid, and the Michelin people were there. That was the main topic, because is Michelin still relevant?
Yes.
All right. And of course, they defended themselves, etc. And because you have a lot of people doing their own, blogging, and then they're
Yes.
saying, that sort of thing. And then they said, of course, they are still relevant, etc. And to come here, and I think because they've been to Singapore, right? Thailand. So probably they heard Filipino food is making it abroad. Why don't we know that?
Yes.
So they come here. There are so many here, and I hope they're guided properly.
Mhm.
But if they're guided properly, who will guide them? Tourism? For me, they have to know their way. They shouldn't consult tourism or
Bloggers.
DTI or the bloggers. They should do it their way. No? Let them do it. I'm sure they have a lot of French people here. And then somebody asked me, how do they make money now, the Michelin guide, because people are still blogging, etc. They're probably selling more tires.
That's true. That's true. Parang wing lang, ano lang yun. Parang tawag doon, pastime lang yun eh.
Yeah. And I thought that that would end it now when bloggers could do it now. But apparently not. And people still regard it as an award. But I know of a chef, a British chef, who gave back his award. Kasi he said, I don't need it. It puts too much pressure on me and other chefs. So why?
And it's stressful.
Yeah. Do people consult Michelin guide pa rin? I don't know. Diba? What's that Singaporean
Yelp? Which one?
the Singaporean that won the Michelin and is here now. Ano ba yun?
Si Orchan.
I
Hawker
like
Chan.
their food, ha? I mean, it's good.
It is.
So you go to that level now. Hindi na siya yung fine dining, right? Ang dami-dami dito sa Pilipinas, 'di ba? Na hindi fine dining.
Totoo.
Are they going to the fine dining or are they going to these places na ano?
Yung parang mga small businesses din.
Yes. Oo.
If there was one restaurant for you na tingin mong worthy to have a Michelin star, what would it be?
Antonio's.
Antonio's.
Yes. For me, but people are asking why? Oh, because I like the food. It's so good. And he cooks not only Filipino but different cuisines.
Yes.
No? And
I
I like
totally will.
and I like him. He's a good friend.
Since nasabi mo nagkukook kayo, what's your specialty? Meron po ba kayong specialty na niluluto for your family or friends?
Nothing really. Whatever suits me that time. But I like to cook Filipino food mainly. Kasi
Is there a certain dish na favorite mo niluluto for some reason?
adobo.
Adobo talaga.
Madali lang yan kasi sometimes I only use Mamacita adobo mix.
Ulo matagal.
Diba? Lalagay mo lang, that's why. Gano. No, because there are convenience, now packets.
Bakit yan?
And for me, I like the way it tastes and, so what am I gonna cook now? So what I do is like, for instance, pancit.
That's it.
They have palabok mix. I just buy bihon and then put the palabok mix. And then I take meat from what I cooked before and then that's the sahog.
Yes, yung dice po. Yes.
So you see,
Yeah.
ganun lang
Smart.
yun eh. Diba?
Yeah, easy. What's your favorite Filipino food?
Ako, adobo.
Adobo talaga.
I really like adobo. Oo.
Is there a certain adobo that you like? Pareho po tayo. I love adobo. Super love adobo.
Chicken adobo.
Chicken adobo. And then, mamantika or masos.
Na mamantika. Oo, I really like yung mamantika.
Yeah.
Yeah, but chicken kasi it doesn't have that mantika because it's not pork, with the fat. And so hindi masyado. But I like it na saucy.
Saucy, okay.
Yeah.
Do you like it double cooked? Kasi I like
Piniprito.
piniprito afterwards eh.
Well, sometimes if I have time.
I have time. Yes. Masarap pag piniprito afterwards. Iba yung adobo pag may pinito
Correct.
siya afterwards.
And I like the smell. Pag may nagluluto ng adobo, ganyan ka kaagad.
Yes,
Alam mo, di ba? And I remember when we were invited sa the States by the Department of Agriculture, would you believe? They wanted me to look into the Iowa, whatever. And then said, oh, Filipino, can you cook for us? Naku, patay. So, we did. I said, can you open your windows? We're going to cook adobo.
Oh.
Kasi sa kanila, But this guy liked it because he also cooks adobo,
Yes.
Americano. So, we cooked adobo for him. Tapos, when we were saying, ano yung ipapartner natin sa adobo? Lupia. Okay. Naku, trabaho. So, we went to a grocery. It was a grocery na Thai.
Thai, okay.
And they had those chopped vegetables
Vegetables
na.
already.
We bought it.
Minahinalo.
Naglubya kami. Good girls. So, it's funny. Pag tinatamad ka talaga, imagine you have to chop
You have to
chop
find ways
everything.
talaga, yeah.
Oh, yeah. And it's a good thing that they also do it.
Since you've been in this industry for a very long time, food industry and also food writing industry now, for you, how has Filipino food evolved in your lifetime, and where do you think it's headed?
Before kasi we were very regionalistic because travel was hard and going from place to place. But now with internet and everybody knows already what Ilocano food is and Bisaya food and Cebuano food, they know it and people travel. So for me, knowing your food from different places, you get to see how varied we are, how rich our cuisine is, and things that you haven't tried before, wow, you can try it now. It's easy to get those food. And sometimes this food travel from that place to here, right? Before you had to wait for it to travel here.
Yes.
Yeah, before. But now, you can even go there. I mean, how would I know that I would go to Tawi-Tawi, di ba? And then eat food from there. And it's so good. So good. And now, for me, the evolving thing is that you know more about our regional cuisine. Therefore, you know more about our country and our culture. And remember, it's so varied na it's very rich. Our culture is so rich. People don't realize that na it's not just one thing. This is it. No. The influences come from different places, and it's not only foreign influences. It's also the influences from the Muslim, the Bisaya, When I married my husband, it's funny. He's from Leyte.
Okay.
All right. So
Visayas.
I cooked for him nilaga. All right. He says, "Ay, walang tanglad." I didn't even know what tanglad was
Oh, yeah.
because I'm from Manila. Wala kaming tanglad. But sa kanila, and it has. And then I learned na the tanglad takes out the meaty smell, and then it's
Parang
very
lansa.
good, lemony, and and that's how I still use it, and I thank him for that. But he shouldn't ask me why I don't know anything about tanglad.
So this is nilagang baka or any nilaga po naglalagay kayo?
Basta anything with soup, yeah. Chicken, for instance, kailangan meron din, and then even but sinigang na baboy, don't do it.
Okay.
No. Yung mga sinigang is hard.
Sorry.
Yeah, but lalo na sa beef, kasi maamoy yung beef
Yes.
Yeah.
What Filipino dish do you think is underrated?
For the regional cooking, I think food that's from Mindanao. It's so rich, iba-iba. There's so many. And I know a lot of chefs from Mindanao, Muslim. They cook so well. Ang galing-galing nila. Tapos, di ba, we all know Iloilo food. We all know Cebuano food and lechon, etc. But there are some food within the area na we should really learn about. But we hardly know them because what we write about, what I write about, what food writers write about, are the usual food.
Yes.
Right? And I want them to learn about the other food that is not written about. When I write about the usual food, I enrich it by writing about how they do it, where they get those ingredients, and why they do it. Food writers have to do that. Not only say, oh, yung batchoy, ganyan. First time I encountered batchoy, I didn't know it had ginamos, But I was interviewing the owner, and then I said, so what else do you mix in? And then he said, ginamos. I looked at him, really? I didn't know that. And then he told me how he does it. He puts it in a gauze container. Andun yung tapos he swirls lang.
Oh,
He doesn't mix it
Mix it with
inside. Basta he swirls it lang. Ganon. Just to get the flavor. And that's important.
Interesting, yeah.
Diba? Kasi you will not get the parts of the bagoong there and
Yes.
ano.
The fish itself, the small fish.
Yeah. So, parang just to get the flavor and the smell. Interesting, diba?
It is. Is there a Filipino dish you would never try? Or is there a dish that you've eaten before that you'll never eat again?
Tamilo.
How's the experience?
Whoa. No, I mean, I think it's more the head when what you think about
Yes.
than the taste. All right. So I did it. I mean, it's not on a dare, but I just did it so that I can say I ate it.
Mhm.
You know. But like when we went to Leyte, the ano of my husband, the cousins, they were talking about ano to, another kind. It's not tamilok, but it's like in the sand, mayroon doon yung mga parang uod-uod or whatever. And they love it. And of course, I never tried it. But there's one thing that I tried that I never had before and I thought it was so good. Have you ever tried sinigang na squid?
Oh, no. How are you going to cook sinigang squid? Sige po, paano yun? Like, literally the squid.
The squid, see, it make it sigang.
Talaga.
It was so good. But
Like the small squids po, yung malaking...
well, the one that we tried, yung medium
Ay,
size.
medium size.
And you know, I went to one of their parties and then they come here, you taste this. Squid, sinigang, so good. But you know, umiitim din yung kanyang ano.
Yung ano, yung sabaw.
Oo, but it's good.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah. And it's the first time I tried it and I said to myself, imagine these people, they know about it.
Yeah.
Di ba?
Eye-opener.
Mm-mm.
Wow.
Squid sinigang. People don't normally do that eh.
Yes.
Di ba? Yun.
What advice would you give to aspiring food writers, especially those wanting to write about Filipino cuisine?
So you have to go around the country because we have such varied food that you cannot just peg us into one, you know, classic. Say, all right, this is Filipino food, but it's really not. I mean, it is, but it's not. So you have to go to the provinces and the regions and find out why they cook that, how they cook it, and how it differs or is similar to other cooking in the other regions. It's so rich. Ako nga, I have a feeling that I haven't really gone to places that I should go to. Number one, I want to go to Hulo. No, I haven't been there. I want
Samahan ko po kayo. Gusto ko rin mapunta dun.
Basilan.
Yes.
Yeah. I've tasted their cooking outside, but not within that place. I was supposed to go to Hulo in the 70s. Nakatakot mo na. But I was thinking of my mother, so I said, no, I don't think I'll go. Diba? But I wasn't writing about food then. I just wanted to know.
Is there any other region or province that you'd like to explore more?
The eastern side of the country. I mean, I've been to Quezon, but not to the entire, ang haba niya, no? Aurora. I've been to Aurora, I've been to Quezon, but I still want to do some more in that area and I haven't been to Isabela and Cagayan North.
Okay.
I haven't been there, but I've interviewed people from there and I have friends from there. And then once they featured me in a cooking show on Isabela food.
Oh.
So I had to study it first. Yung ganon.
Nagluto po kayo dun?
No, yeah, they asked me to cook certain things, okay? That's a problem. You see, if you are a food writer, people ask me, but do you cook? Yeah. I said, you don't have to, but it would be good, you know? When I was starting, I didn't cook. I did cook. Now na lang.
And then slowly natuto na lang din po kayo as time.
Yeah, because I have a feeling I don't have the talent, number one. And I don't have the patience, number two. And I'd rather eat nga.
Based from your experience, what do you think is the trajectory of Pinoy food for the next 10 years?
Oh, that's hard to tell. I mean, it was already hard to tell that we're going to make it, right? I don't really know, but I have a feeling that it will be more regional now. since people know about the cooking from other places, and they want to not really, I wouldn't call it upgrade, but sort of make it go into the present, because that's traditional cooking.
Yes.
Okay. So how do you put it in the present? I think that's how it will be.
So more of a contemporary take on classic dishes.
Yes, it will be. Because it's a different generation now, eh?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that is actually interesting and quite exciting
It is.
for everyone, not just for people who like Filipino food, but also for the chefs, the restaurateurs, and everyone.
Yeah, right.
And definitely for food writers, to write
Yeah.
something new about our food.
Yeah.
Miss Micky, thank you so much for joining us. Maraming salamat po for having this, very, very interesting conversation about our food and what is it to be a food writer. So, maraming salamat po.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, and maybe just a question. Do you have anything to plug for our viewers or listeners? Maybe you have a new book coming out, maybe soon, or like your new book. Would you like to plug them here in this camera?
Okay. We just finished an Iloilo book, Iloilo Gastronomy. And you should buy it because there's a lot of research there and also recipes. It's coming out here in Manila kasi it's there pa. I think next month.
We'll wait for that and hopefully you'll get to see another work from you regarding that research. So yun, maraming salamat po, Miss Micky, and thank you so much for joining us. And
Thank you.
that's basically it for us here, foodies. We'll see you again soon. Bye. Thank you so much.
If you enjoyed this podcast, don't forget to follow all our socials at BiteSized.PH para updated kayo sa new episodes namin. See you in the next episode, foodies. Bye!